This video is brought to you by my supporters on Patreon. Hi guys, so I'm here with another video in my Li Ming work log series, and this time I am working on her bracer. So what I'm doing in this clip is dremeling down the different pieces I had cut out, and all of these patterns for like every armor piece of hers as well as her wand are all available through my Patreon.
When we first met, we were in the deep end. So out of breath, we could never keep it.
So she has this sharp bend and just this odd kind of shape to the top of her bracer, and what I did to create that was cut this slit all the way around the area where I want the sharper bends to be, and now I'm just filling those bends with hot glue and then bending it and holding it there until the hot glue dries. I did try to use that spray can of like air that you get for dusting computers because it's very cold air, so it helps the hot glue dry faster, because I get impatient, but unfortunately it ran out like as soon as I decided to use it. But you'll see me use it on some other pieces later in the series. After I have all the bends that I want, like all of the back situation figured out, I go ahead and just start gluing on all of the other pieces, like this piece that kind of goes around the top part that you can see here. I really don't know what to call these pieces, so you can see what's going on in the video, and those are the pieces that I'm referring to.
So broken when I close them. I've been looking for weakness, but even if I told you all my secrets.
So I'm going like super overboard with the hot glue, but I just wanted to make sure everything held really well. I'm also using the hot glue when it's like really hot and melty to fill in some of the seam lines that are on the front, so I have less work to do later, and then I just melt them down and make them smooth by like touching the tip to it, and that seems to work pretty well. So here I did a bit of a dumb, and I started gluing on these diamonds before I did the lining. There is a lining that goes around the top part of her bracer, and I started gluing those down before that, and then had to go back through and peel them off and then glue down the lining and then go back and re-glue them down again. So just make sure for this part you do the lining first. And here is that part of, or about, the lining that I was just talking about. What I did to kind of help the hot glue stick, as I did with most of your pieces, and as you have probably already seen in a previous work log video if you've watched some other ones, is I go through with an X-Acto knife and cut little tiny slits wherever a piece is going to be laid down, because that just helps the hot glue stick better and it gives it something to grip to.
So out of breath, we could never keep it. I know you've been looking for a weakness, but even if I told you all my secrets, there's still a part of me that makes it. I can't be found.
All I did to create the lining, by the way, was just cut out strips from this thin piece of craft foam or EVA foam to the size that I wanted, and it was really just me eyeballing it. For the lining, I didn't create any sort of pattern beforehand.
With you, behind my eyes, a door you couldn't open. Oh, hidden inside, so broken when I close them. Oh, I've been looking for weakness, but even if I told you all my secrets, there is still a part of me you're missing. I can't be found.
Now I'm making the band that goes around her arm and that the bracer attaches to. And for this I just used thin craft foam. All of this is made out of craft foam or EVA foam. The black stuff is the thicker EVA foam you find at hardware stores, and all of the colorful stuff are thin pieces of craft foam you find at craft stores. So what I'm doing here is gluing down all of the different layers that are on here, which are just a couple, and then I'm going to use a heat gun to give it the correct shape that I need it to be. Once it's the correct shape that I need it to be, I go ahead and attach the entire thing together. I only attach it on one side though, so I'm just cutting up and hacking away at one side, make sure not to cut all the way through so that the hot glue will have a better grip, and then I'm going to glue that side down. But I'm going to leave the other side unattached until after I finish painting it, because I will be attaching a Velcro strip to both the top part of the bracer and the part that wraps around, so that it is easy to get on and off simply by just peeling that Velcro strip open and close. And now I am just painting the bracer. I had more footage of me painting, but Adobe Premiere hates me and decided to make the files corrupt when they were working perfectly fine before that. But anyways, what I did was I used spray paint for the gold part and acrylic paint for the black part, and now I'm going through and shading all of the gold pieces using black oil paint, because I find that paint just blends so much easier and it makes the shadows look a lot more realistic, I guess I would say. It just does the job a lot better than acrylic paint and other paints that I have tried. I also definitely recommend shading all of the pieces and your props and such, because it just gives this extra depth to it and it makes it look just a million times better. yeah, I noticed the gold splatter. That happened when I realized I missed a part after I already finished painting on the black, and I had to go back and spray paint a part gold, and then I had to go back and touch up the black again, which I don't have footage of, but I did do it. Anyways, that is all I have for this video. I hope you guys found it helpful or enjoyed it, and will check out the rest of this video series. Have a lovely day, and thanks for watching.